Hello, hello, hello. How are you?
Good. How is everyone? I hope everyone's keeping well. And how are you, Heather?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good.
Welcome to T.O.T. Chat with Drew's Adventures. Thank you
Mm.
for accepting my invitation to join
No,
us.
thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here. At the moment, I think we've only got one person in the house, but
Yep.
that's okay.
Yep.
That would be
Yeah.
Mark Hayes Mystery Tours.
Cool.
Welcome and
Cool.
thank you for
Yeah.
joining us. I'm sure others will be along
Mm.
momentarily.
Mm.
Uh, yes,
Definitely.
while we're waiting, you'll probably notice that I've gone an hour and a half over my usual
Yeah.
designated time. And I'll go into that right now because Drew, you're actually on location, aren't you?
I am. I'm in Ararat, which is part of the Grampians region in Victoria, Western Victoria. And I have just come off of the J Ward history tour about probably an hour ago, if that. Yeah, 40 minutes, an hour ago. It was amazing. It's a place of obviously a lot of sadness happened there, but it's also very interesting to look back in time and to think that this is how, society operated with, you know, wards for the insane, as they were called in those times. So, yeah, I'm just here till probably another hour or two, and then I think we'll start driving back to Adelaide. So, excuse my tired look. I normally look a bit better now.
No, that's quite okay. That's quite okay.
Mm.
We did this once. You look very cold there too.
It's
Um,
very cold, yeah. Mm.
I could imagine country Victoria. It's usually
Yeah.
always freezing over there, even
Yes,
in summer, I think.
I think you're
Um,
right. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
did you do the Arradale Asylum tour as well, or just the
I didn't do
yeah?
that this time around, but I have done that in the past. And the Arradale Asylum Tour, from what I remember of it, was really active place. And I had an experience where I had, as if someone was like wearing big heavy boots and thundering behind me. And that was when I was coming out of the autopsy room at Arradale.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of my, I suppose, one of my earliest kind of investigations into the paranormal world
Yeah.
was through going to Arradale with some friends that I still hold near and dear to me, and they went with me. We did that a while back, and then we did Beechworth as well, and yeah, just fascinating. So yeah.
Oh, Beechworth as well. That would have been a long week, long,
Oh,
long weekend.
that was, yes, that was a
long
big
trip.
trip, that one. I think we were gone for a week. That was before petrol became exorbitantly like it is now. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, so that sounds amazing. And you're on your lunch break, so
Yes. Yeah.
good
Mugging
time
away
up
on
to
some
that.
McDonald's chips. Yeah.
Now, before we get into your channel and your content and what you're
Yep.
about, tell us a little bit about yourself. Now, we've got all that fluff and stuff has just crawled in. Well,
Yes.
thank you, all that fluff and stuff. Terry Dragon, hello, how are you? Always nice to see you both as well.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
little bit of
Welcome, everyone.
man behind the camera.
Yeah. So I like to do things like exploring and adventure primarily.
Mhm.
I do a lot of gold detecting and article or artifact finding, I suppose. Um, and I also just find interest in I suppose things that people probably think are the obscure. I've always thought that there's always stuff out there in this life that we don't understand, that we don't necessarily explore, we don't
Mhm.
question maybe, and I think we should go out and do it. And I think for me, that's been one of those things while I've been unemployed at the moment that I've just been able to rekindle again with nature, with the environment, with the world around me, and find things that I didn't know existed or didn't You know, I didn't
Wow.
realise we were around, and met you and Werner and a number of lovely people now. So through you guys as well. So it's just been fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you think of something on top of the head, something that you've come across or seen or done that you never
Ooh.
done in a million years that you get a chance to do?
Well, I reckon probably one of the things that I recall from my earliest adventures or earlier adventures has probably been um, thinking. There's potentially maybe when I went up to the hills one time and I found um, like an old clock that was actually at Jupiter Creek in the Adelaide Hills. And Jupiter Creek, just very quickly, is basically a spot where South Australia's mining boom, really focused in on, and it's sort of between Echunga and Hahndorf. And that area had a lot of artifacts left over. It had a lot of bits and pieces, and I happened to go exploring and detecting there one day, and I found a really cool clock, and like an old sort of cogs of a clock, and it probably was like a pocket watch and potentially in its old time. And so stuff like that's really cool. I found an 1877 penny in the Adelaide Parklands where you'd never think such things would
No,
be, maybe. Hmm.
no,
So that
absolutely.
that was cool. Yeah.
Fantastic. Right, I just want to quickly welcome in Nikki, Dean Music and more. Dean, the Bud Files are here. Thank you all for joining us. I
Hi,
think I've got
everyone. Yeah.
everyone now. With people
Awesome.
trickle in and out for the
Yep.
next hour. Silver Clan. Hello,
Oh, cool.
welcome. Thank you for joining
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Hi, everyone.
cool. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, an 1877 coin. That's
Yep.
pretty damn rare.
Yeah. It was
Um,
really, really cool. Yeah.
that's
So I
an
think,
amazing time.
yeah, I think it turned 145 this year. So it's probably the oldest coin I've ever found. And the oldest thing I have maybe in my collection that I've found.
You
Hmm.
want to keep that safe. How did you get into gold mining or gold mining?
Oh,
I'll get to
yeah.
that in a moment. How did you get
Yeah.
into what's that little thing with the device?
Oh, the detecting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right, Heather. Yeah. I got into it really just like a lot of people say, did you ever watch the show Aussie Gold Hunters? I didn't really actually before I got into it. I just one day thought, I wonder if there's such a thing as gold in the Adelaide Hills. So I went on Google,
Yeah.
had a look, and I thought, I'm gonna have to try this out. So I went and I convinced myself to get the first detector I had, which is my Gold Monster. And I bought that, and I got that from, I think, Anaconda about 5-6 years ago now. And I took that out and I started to get little tiny bits of gold at Chapel Hill, which is or sort of part of the Jupiter Creek same area region. Yeah. Just got into it like that. And I thought, you know what, why not? And I thought as an investment, maybe long term, I mean, it's a long-term investment, but yeah, it's good fun, and it just gets my curiosity, and it gets you out in the nature.
Yes. Hello, Stuart.
Yeah. Oh,
If you
Stuart,
can,
hello. Pat Mars.
if you
Yeah,
can
hi,
jump
Pat
on,
Mar.
He's the oldest thing you ain't.
on
Yeah.
YouTube, that with my watch hours too. On your
Yeah.
Stuart.
Cool.
If you can.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah, you got into gold digging and metal detecting pretty much at the
yeah.
same time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it many years ago? Were you a kid? Were you a teenager?
Actually, I did have a metal detector as a kid. I did. It was a little tiny orange and black one from memory. It was a long time ago since I've been a kid, Heather, and everyone. But no, I just thought, why not? And yeah, I have my machines in the car, but unfortunately they're almost impossible to show on camera, probably very easily. But yeah, without disseminating my entire car again.
No
Yeah.
worries. Right. And so, where have you gone metal detecting? Are there? Have you are there places you've been? Places you want
Yep.
to go?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Both of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, I think probably my favourite spot has been probably Victoria, like around what they call the Golden Triangle. So you've got Ararat, Stawell, Ballarat, Bendigo, Maryborough, so many different towns and little regions over here. And yeah, that it. I think it's always been really nice. I think a place that I would like to go would be Western Australia and up in the far northwest of Western Australia, where they have like a number of gold regions like Kalgoorlie right up through to Kununurra, I think it's called. And yeah, oh, there you go. Silver Clan just said something. Yeah, I'm a gold miner in North California, Nevada, Oregon, and Arizona. Yep, cool.
Yeah, awesome.
Mm.
Yes. Hello, Joe from the Paranormal side. Welcome. Thanks for joining
Yeah.
us.
Cool. Hello, everyone. Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, cool. So that's a very unusual hobby.
It is.
Yes. Do you find, are there many people who have similar interests as you with the?
I don't think there's many people in perhaps my age group that really get into it. Probably not, Heather. But I think it's growing, and I think people are intrigued by it. I certainly, if I'm out and about with a detector, and I often have families or someone comes up and says, "Oh, would that be a good hobby for me to take up?" And I always say, "Look, give it a go. You can hire detectors, you can hire equipment, And to me, also, I suppose part of my mission with it is to try and break the stereotypes of who can go gold mining, because I think I was someone that probably about 10 years ago, everyone would have said he will never get his hands dirty, he'll never dig a hole, he'll never go out of a nightclub, out of and, being a queer, member of the community, I think a lot of people stereotype us wrongly into thinking that, we're all about drag or makeup, which I don't mind, but I certainly, my home is definitely in the bush with my detector and getting grubby, and it's good fun.
Absolutely. And digging a hole, you need to go to the toilet.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. I've had to do those a few times.
No powder room in the bush.
That's right. Bush toilet. Yeah.
That's so true. Oh,
yeah.
dear. That's hilarious. So what made you start your YouTube channel?
I actually had one for many, many years. However, I got lazy, I guess, with it. I had other jobs that, took my interest away, I suppose, from filming things. But at one stage on my old channel, which is somewhere, I think, still on the world of YouTube, there's actually a video of me with a spider that I put a stick near its hole, like in its little spider hole, like a funnel web thing, and it picked up the stick and threw it out. And that's on one of my old channels. It always was at the back of my mind to get back into, blogging and doing some videos and exploring more things. And I think that this gave, this new channel now set up, Drew's Adventures, gives me that opportunity to do a diverse range of, whether it be gold, urbex, looking around at animals, plants, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good fun.
Yeah. Absolutely. I've seen you in action, and I'd have to say it's just, I just sit there and listen. I'm in awe of how you engage and talk about just
thank you.
any old thing. Yeah, it's just great.
Thank you, Heather. Yeah.
The paper chain and makes it interesting. That's
I do.
I've never seen. Oh, look, it's a paper chain, but you get there and delve into that paper chain and make it.
I will. Yep. I'll always try and explain what I'm looking at and where I am, and I think to me maybe that comes back to my journalism background, having done a postgraduate and a bit of study in that. Being able to try and explain things and animals and plants and that kind of thing. I think that that's something I try and pride myself on. However, a lot of my videos on my YouTube, there's a lot of yeahs, and it's my trademark, as Heather will vouch, and Pat Ma as well, and other viewers. They'll say, "Yep." All he does is go, "Yeah," and that's me absorbing knowledge. I'm neuro psychologically different probably from a lot of people, but I do, but I do, try and absorb, and I try and listen, and I try and, even if it takes me a little while to, really hear what someone says or something, or what a
It takes me
book
about
writes.
I'll come back to something the next, like a week later. Oh yeah, now I get
You got
it.
You got it. Exactly right, Heather. Exactly. Yep, correct. And I'll put all the pieces together of a puzzle, but I'll take a while to do it. So
Absolutely. And
yeah.
You're a bit of a show pony. You're not.
Oh, sometimes. Yeah. In my earlier days, I used to do modelling.
Yes.
Yep, used to do modelling. I was like a runner-up for a few competitions, and I got best male model talent only in 2020 when the pandemic started, with Friends Worldwide TV, an Indian-based group, and they had a little modelling competition, and I started out with modelling in probably about 2015, 16. And I did a competition for Zeus, and I was a runner-up there for a trip to Paris and a model contract. And so I've done a bit of bits and pieces all over the place, actually. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Lisa Anderson has just joined the house, and so
hello, Lisa.
Kelly King 916.
Cool.
John's here as well.
Awesome. Hi, John.
And I think they're the only newbies here, so that's right. So to interrupt.
Yeah.
So, do you have a bucket list of places you'd like to go?
Absolutely. I think for me, I would love to do Europe eventually, like one day, before I get too old and crusty. And I think probably, I don't know, Heather. That's a really good question. I think I'd like to do the whole loop of Australia. So go right around all the coastline, every little coastal town, and then crisscross through the interior somehow. I think those two would be my favourite two things to do before I pass this earth. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to do the north. I haven't done north much.
Yeah, no, I've only done Queensland, mostly north in Australia, but haven't done Darwin or North WA or anything. Yeah.
Absolutely. So what are your plans now with your YouTube channel? So you've got it up and running, and
yep.
You've got your projects on the go. And where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
I'm really hoping.
5 years' time.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that I can make my YouTube as a informative channel that a lot of people will really love to visit, and find it entertaining enough to keep coming back and to engage. Build a community on there. I think just one of those things that I'd like to see it grow with more people interested and asking questions, and I think that just takes time. It takes time and engaging content, and I always rack my brain, what could I do next? What could be the next, move on the channel to put something up? And I think my last couple of videos have been really exciting, where it was a travel vlog, but I think sometimes it's hard, from a financial standpoint, at least, to always be able to go out and about and every time, but, you make the best of what you can. And I'm just hoping that, people that enjoy my channel keep coming back and asking more, and if they've got suggestions, I'd love to hear them for what I could do, because I think it'd just be great fun to make the channel bigger and better and brighter and more engaging, more informative.
Absolutely. What have you learned on your travels so far?
Oh, I've learnt in a few instances I've actually had the camera recording and I didn't realise that I was right next to private property, and I've had someone bark their head off at me, don't Karens or Kevins, I suppose we could call them, and say, you're near my private property or you stepped on my boundary or something like that. I do find, unfortunately, South Australia can be a little bit trickier in that sense. People, perhaps it's just because we are a smaller place. We might have people that are more concerned about, who's driving in their town or in their street or, around their land or something like that. And I have encountered that more over in SA, I suppose, than when I was over here or elsewhere. But yeah, I think for me, that's probably the biggest lesson I've learned, is just be really careful about where you go, because you don't know who's who in the zoo sometimes. So it's my line, yeah.
And for those that are not from South Australia is a small state with very small towns.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
literally everyone does know each other.
Yeah. We're a bit like Tassie, aren't we, Heather? We're like maybe a double Tassie. Sorry, Tassie people. We love you.
Double game. Absolutely. Not as inbred though.
Yeah, no, that's right. No, not that bad.
Yes. Oh, cool. I just want to take a moment to welcome Ghostly Findings Paranormal Jackie.
Yeah. Hi, everyone.
We appreciate your support. And while I've got everyone's attention, if you can take some time to give this video the thumbs up and share this out, we may get one more people.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Awesome. It will also help Drew grow his channel as well.
Yeah, same back for my channel. When I do post this one up, I'd love people to support Heather and Werner as well, and the other channels that have supported today and come on board. And yeah, just get behind your local content creators, because we're all, we all got a different take on things. We have a different, perspective, and we just love to share it with whoever we can. I think that's the thing. Sharing is caring. Yeah.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. I accept it, but
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so do you have someone, whether it be like whatever hobby you're doing, whether it be YouTube or gold mining or metal detecting or any of your other hobbies, do you have somebody you look up to and think, this person inspires me?
Yeah, I do. I probably do find there's a few channels. It's really hard to probably pick one or two, but I think there's a few that have sort of said to me, look, get out there, don't hold back, just get on the camera, give it your best shot. People will either love it or they won't, and you get a mixed bag of lollies. And I think, there's a few of them out there, like Famo59 was a channel that Tony, he supported me from day one with the detector and took me out to learn it, because I had no idea. And detectors are a bit technical. I had a guy called Trevor Clark as well. He's Salt Bush Gold on YouTube, and he helped me enormously too, and took me out, on outings to get me into it. And I think in terms of urbex, like yourself, my friend Denise, a lot of people have like Jim's urbex, people like that just go off the beaten track and get out there and see what they can find. I think that kind of thing generally just inspires me. So perhaps not one particular channel, but a lot of people out there, give me that inner energy to go, I'm going to give that a shot. I'm going to go have a look at that and see what I think. Yeah.
Yes, that's one thing I miss about being Jim's Herbeck's age, is you don't want to do some stuff that he does.
Yeah, exactly.
He's too old to climb and go into tunnels and
that's right. Going into gold mines and whatever. I'm like, oh, good luck. I'm like, He's braver than I am, I have to say.
He has no. I don't think boundaries. That's fantastic. Yes. I've lost track.
That's all right.
If anybody has any questions from the chat, please feel free to put them forward. when I
Yeah,
get a chance.
absolutely.
One
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
my adventures, warm, strong adventures. Hello, and new
Yeah.
to the channel. Well, welcome. Thank you for
Mm,
popping, saying hello. That's very much appreciated. We
yeah.
are halfway through our hour time slot.
Yep.
And for those who
Cool.
are new,
Yep.
postponed for an hour and a half
Yeah.
because is on location.
Yeah. Yep.
So
In
for
Ararat.
Ararat, and you've just
Yes.
been.
Yeah. Yeah. Stayed in Stawell, but we went to Ararat today. Yeah. Yeah. I did the Sisters Rocks and Bunjil Shelter yesterday. Yeah.
Would you like to tell us a little bit more about Bunjil
Yeah,
Shelter?
Bunjil Shelter. Yep. So Bunjil was the creator god, or I think he was a god. I apologize if I've got that wrong to anyone, but he was like the creator spirit for the Koori people of Western Victoria. And I'm sorry, but I don't remember the exact tribal groupings, like the countries. But Bunjil Shelter was basically it's actually I think the oldest Western Victorian like rock art shelter that still exists in its current form. It's believed to be up to 8,000 years old, and what it actually covers is it's got Bunjil in the corner. I'm just trying to do it so I can picture it for people. And you have then two little dingoes next to him, and the dingoes were like his guides, like his helpers. So yeah, Bunjil created a lot of like the area here that we would know as Hall's Gap, I suppose. And yeah, I did get there, D. I did get to Arradale, but I went to J Ward. I've been to Arradale before though. But yeah, D just asking D Newman. So hi D. And I did J Ward though today, this morning. So it's an awesome place. And Arradale, it's probably a place I'd like to go back to and do another tour of, because I've been there before and it's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and get a photo up of that you took and sent me.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, definitely, Heather. Go for it. Yeah. So Bunjil Shelter, yeah, it's believed to be between at least 1,000 and up to 8,000 years old, they believe. So, and it's I think it is the last remaining rock art shelter in Western Victoria, I think. I'm not sure about the other side of Melbourne, the east, but yeah.
Cool. I think I'm going to be able
Yeah.
to. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so that's rather exciting.
Yeah.
And what do you have anything else major coming up? Any plans for something big or
Yeah.
small?
I suppose. Yeah. I guess for me, maybe some more gold detecting down the track, but I do have plenty of videos in the pipeline actually, including some that we've done together, Heather and Werner as well, and John and Cherie and Tanya as well. If she's on, I'm not sure if she's on at the moment. Heather, is Tanya on there?
No.
Pocket Watch, yeah, no,
Yeah.
but there's just doing as many as I can to get content up. The hardest thing for me, I think, is getting the time to do the editing without interruptions, because often you just find that you get something happening. And I had my dad have a rough health turn a few days back, and so I was very careful about not overdoing it, I suppose. So yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
So there's a few projects, generally speaking. Yeah. Yeah.
Drop your questions, people. Drop your questions.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. So, I'm Drew. I met Drew. You subscribed to my channel first. I think
I did, and I thought you were a doppelganger of someone.
Yes, that's right.
at a country fair I went to. Yeah.
I didn't have me out there. Oh, I don't think so. That would be fun.
That's right.
And it turns out that Drew literally lives around the corner from me. So
Yeah.
we exchange numbers and Instagram
Yeah.
profiles, and
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
you know, where we got it, even know how it came about that we went out exploring. It's like,
Yeah, I think Werner suggested that we all do it, and I said, all right, let's do it. Let's go out and we'll see what we find. And we went to an old like what was it, like, institution for people with it wasn't mental health, was it, Heather? It was intellectual disability. Yeah, yeah. It
yes,
was a bit of
George
everything, I think.
so, yeah.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
on the same camp, I'm actually working on doing a huge video about that right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is going to be epic, actually. And it was one facility located within a group of facilities that had the disability support
Mm-hmm.
institution. We
Mm-hmm.
had the Hillcrest Hospital, which was a mental
Yeah,
asylum.
that's
It
right.
Costa
Oakton Aged Care, was it, or something?
an
Excuse
aged
me
care
while I eat, everyone, too. Sorry, Heather.
East Way, Oakton
Mm.
Aged Care Facility for elderly people with mental health issues, and
Mm-hmm.
Nash House, which was a facility for the
Mm.
critically insane. And
Mm.
they were
Mm-hmm.
all housed together yet separately on this one big block of land.
Mm.
And one by
Yep.
one, all except Nash House, one by one, each of those facilities closed under a
Mm-hmm.
plan, and they were all ran by the
Yep.
state government under
Mm. Mm-hmm.
under the health plan.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yep.
All that plans
Correct.
are revealed in my next couple hopefully next week.
Mm.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what happens. I've got hours of footage to go through.
It's a long process, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
And, we had a lot of fun exploring that, didn't we?
Mm. 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 Yeah. Mm.
Okay, Mark visited Halls Cap when I was a kid. Yeah, Halls Cap is lovely. It really is. It really
Mm.
is.
Mm. Yeah. Mm.
Have you had what bad experiences have you had with your gold mining, or
I think one of the worst slash saddest slash bad, if I can extend it that way, Heather, as well, probably finding. And I hope there's not too many children watching this, but I'll say it anyway. But finding dead animals at the bottom of mine shafts, or animals that are stuck in mine shafts. That's always a tough one, I suppose, because I've always been an empath, and I'd like to help them. So I've helped a couple of little sleepy lizards, the stumpy tail lizards, out of mine shafts. So pick them up and put them out of the mine shaft if I can get in safely to get them out. But yeah, I mean, I think bad experiences. Sometimes there have been times when I've gone for weeks without finding anything, and I just, no matter where I've gone, and like for Mount Crawford, for example, where there's gold areas you can detect. I went up there for 4 years before I got my first piece of gold, Heather. So it was
Wow.
a long time of persevering, persistence, patience. That's something that Tony, that I mentioned earlier, he always, taught me, that is persistence, patience, and perseverance, and you eventually will get something out of the ground. And that piece happened to be 3.86 grams, so it was my biggest single nugget so far.
Your first nugget was your biggest nugget.
Yeah, the one from Mount Crawford, the first one from Mount Crawford. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
But I've got other bits. But yeah, but that was the first one I ever got from that zone. Yeah.
Oh wow! And Jupiter Creek.
Yeah. That Jupiter Creek, I have got nuggets there. I've got some that were about a gram each, and some that were 0.7, 0.6, 0.5 of a gram. I think for me, it's more the fun of finding it than whether it's the big size or not. There's nothing quite like, when you lift up your little scoop, and in the scoop is a little shiny, that's what we call it, shiny. And it's like, eureka, yeehaw, it's good fun. Whereas a lot of the time when you're out detecting, it's lead shots, it's bits of tin, it's bits of people's alfoil. I think, actually, coming back to your question just before, in terms of bad things, what really annoys me is the amount of hard rubbish that's dumped out in the bush. And it's one of those things that, I don't think there's an excuse for taking, your old washing machine and dumping it out in the bush. I just think that's just crazy. And I just don't understand people, with that aspect. Yeah, that's the sad thing. And the bad thing is seeing a lot of the junk that's thrown out and should be in a proper landfill or recycled. If it can't be, recycled, then landfilled. Properly.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just want to say hello to Oracles and Beyond. Welcome.
Yes.
Thank you for
Hello,
us.
Oracles and Beyond. Yeah.
Laura Lee is here as well. Welcome, Laura Lee.
Cool.
It's always good to see.
Yeah.
In the chat.
Now, is it all right? Is it all right, Heather, if I go up for a cigarette? Because I'm craving a cigarette. All right, cool. I just don't want to upset the audience or anyone think.
Yeah. So you're in the town of
Ararat. Yeah. Yep. I'm not sure if I can turn this around or just see if I can. Let's see. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I just dropped the camera out. I'm just trying to work out if I can. I thought I might be able to spin it around, but it doesn't. But this is Barclay Street at the moment in Ararat. And there's my workmobile that Heather filmed on another one of the. Yeah. Yeah.
How big is Ararat?
I don't know the exact population, in all honesty, but I think it's about 8,000, maybe 10,000 people in the whole district and surrounds. Yeah, think possibly, Heather.
But it's close enough to Melbourne to warrant.
Yeah, definitely. Melbourne's only, I think, 130 kilometres from here, roughly. Yeah.
That's just the road for us.
Yeah, that's right. Just up the road. Yeah, spot on. Yeah.
Somebody might be able to figure that one out for us and pop it in the chat.
Yeah.
We hope. Yes.
Yeah.
So you're going. How many hours will it take you to get home today?
Roughly 6 hours or 6.5 with safety. Obviously, safety breaks. And yeah, I pretty much done this drive though a number of times, but you can't get complacent. There can be kangaroos or people have breakdowns in their cars or trucks that are a bit aggressive or don't know what they're doing or whatever. And so, yeah, it's just all about safety and getting back in one piece. So should be back, I think, around 11 p.m. Adelaide time, 12 maybe a.m.
So it's 2:08 p.m. now. So that's a very long drive.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, exactly. Yep, it is. And to go to Melbourne is another, I think, 2 hours from here, heading back down. But yeah.
That's amazing. So is there anything you know now that you wish you had have known maybe 10 years ago?
Yeah.
In terms of, YouTube and mining.
Do you know what? I think, Heather, it's to be yourself. Yeah, I think it's to be yourself. I mean, I used to try and fit a stereotype, of what society thought, or especially what queer society thought I should be like, and I think in hindsight I would have gone, you know what, I should have done what I loved back then, and I mean, I've still got the energy to do a lot now that I would have done back then, but I've now, I suppose, evolved into more of a person that understands a bit more about the world and what's in it, and yeah, I think it gives you exploring and adventure, gives you new perspectives on life. You maybe don't focus on the little things as much, and you can tend to, lose yourself in the bushland, in an adventure, in an explorer, in an urbex. You're able to go out and to find, things and spaces to reconnect with your soul, and I think that's something I didn't do very well perhaps 10 years ago as opposed to doing now, and being in touch with the here and now. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. That's very profound. Extremely profound.
Yeah.
Because that was leading me to another question. What advice would you give to anyone who wants to start out a YouTube channel, for example?
I would say I would say go for it. I would say everyone's life experience up until their point that they do a video is going to be different. It's going to be informative. You know, you're going to have a perspective that's different from mine, Heather. You know, Werner's going to have a different perspective from what, you know, we might think of a certain place or experience. And I think in a way, it tells the human story. You know, we all have a human story about what we've done, what we've experienced, what we'd like to do, and I just think go for it. I think it, you know, young people, old people, in between, whatever, just get out there, get a camera, and start filming. You know, do something, and yeah, you'll find you'll get a lot too out of helping. I think people to, you know, be informed, educated, whatever. I get a lot of a kick out of, you know, people going, oh, I didn't know that existed, or I didn't know, you know, that you could do that, or you could, you know, that lizard wasn't dangerous, or that, you know, snake wasn't all that bad if you see one in the bush. And I'm like, yeah, you know, yeah, stuff like that. I don't know. Gives me a bit of a like encouragement in my spirit, I suppose. And I go, yeah, I like the fact that I've shown someone that zone, that thing, that place, that experience. And I think also having my mum, who's got a lot of like not able to walk too well, and my dad with heart issues. I think for me to be able to film some of these places that they haven't seen and they, you know, wouldn't physically be able to get to, and then other friends that have had physical disabilities and, you know, mental health issues. I think there's nothing like getting out there and getting your camera and just going, hey, this is what, you know, is out there, and I want to bring it to you guys. Just because you've got disability or you're not able to do it physically doesn't mean I'm not going to try and share the best that I can, you know, of an experience or a place or a thing or theme. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
And so do you have any techniques for, you know, doing that, bringing the best you've got, bringing the best?
Oh, yeah. I think
Yeah.
research is key. I mean, honestly, Google is probably, you know, my go-to tool. I mean, like most of us probably. And like I say, with gold stuff, I just sat down one day and I did gold in the Adelaide Hills. I think it was a search for. And then I just discovered a whole world, you know, and just like Urbex, you know, when you go on to Reddit or you go on to Google and you just go, you know, what was there? What was that building? You know, look up an address, look up a place, a space, and you can learn so much. And then if you're able to get out there and get your camera out, do it, I reckon. Do it, yeah.
Fantastic. What's your all-time favourite thing to do? Like, if you had a thing that's like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
You know, honestly, Heather, it would be gold. It would be gold detecting and exploring. No doubt about it. I just find it so, it's intriguing, you know, and the spaces and places I've been and the experiences I've had have just been really quite mind blowing, you know, and sometimes, you know, I've come across kangaroos. I've had a wallaby investigate me before. I've had a wild dog encounter once as well. That was a bit scary, but you know, just to get out there, and I think that would be my ideal thing to do as a lifestyle choice. If I really could get paid for it all the time and live full time on that, I would do it, Heather.
How wonderful would it be, though? Absolutely.
Yeah, it would be the ideal life, but it's, yeah, unfortunately, realities of bills and, and expenses are a bit harder to manage.
Unfortunately, you can't live on love alone.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cool. Any questions from? Oh, hello, Annabelle. Annabelle just joined us. Thank you for
Hi,
joining.
Annabelle. Hello.
From Pat.
Cool.
Have you ever thought about going to the Opal field?
I actually haven't been there yet, Dee, and everyone who's watching, I haven't got there yet. It is on my bucket list. What Heather mentioned earlier, I'd love to do it. I think for me, I would have to probably investigate better equipment because I've got very basic digging equipment. I've just got a pick and a scoop at the moment, but I'd love to get up there and document some of the history of it too, because I think especially in South Australia at least, there's a lot of opal fields and even towns like Minterby that have been abandoned almost. And I think, to get out there and to maybe explore around and tell the story of those towns and the opal as well would be really, really cool to do. So that's a good idea, I think, Dee, and it's something I'd love to do when time and money allows. Thank you for that question. Yeah.
Yes, I'd love to go back to Cooper Pedy.
Yeah. It's really cool. Yeah, my sister's been there recently, but yeah.
Good on her.
Yeah.
Lovely town it is, actually. Lovely town.
Yeah. A lot of it's underground, I think, from memory, my sister said.
Yes.
But yeah.
It's pretty much except one of the hotel rooms.
Yeah.
Sad about Minterby, kicked out of the.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they closed that town down. It's a bit like Wittenoom in Western Australia. If anyone's interested in a ghost town, if you look up Wittenoom, and that's a town that was like closed for a different reason, but it had asbestos poisoning. But Minterby, I think, had a lot of issues with drug and alcohol abuse. I think I'm not too sure, but I think that was the reason why the SA government. I think it was before the last state government. They scheduled it to be pretty much de-gazetted, I think is the word, as a township. So Minterby is still out there, but I don't think there's probably more than about maybe 5-6 people at the most maybe living there, I think. But I'd love to get out there and properly document it and, give it some airtime, definitely.
Yes, I think I've been to Minterby as well.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think
it'd be awesome, yeah.
I know because I worked at Anna Creek Station for a while. And
right, yeah. I think that's close by.
Yes,
it's
so
not far from Lee Creek, yeah.
Yes, Lee Creek. I've been to Lee Creek. Yes, all that. That's on the Oodnadatta track.
Yeah, right out. Yeah. So I'd love to do that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yes. I'm running out of questions here, people.
Yeah.
20 past 2, and we're running out of time anyway. So probably a good time to start wrapping this up and let you get on your way.
Sure. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. No, it's a pleasure to join you, Heather, and thank you for the questions and for everyone who tuned in as well on my part. I'd love to see more of what you're doing, and please subscribe and I'll add you back. I have no dramas with, supporting everyone that I can. So I'll try and, do that as soon as I can. Yeah.
Absolutely. So the chat's been fairly quiet. I wasn't expecting it to be so quiet. The link his adventures has dropped quite a few times. It is on my front page under my
I think it to describe my channel, it's a banner of North Queensland up the very top, which is another part of Australia I've explored a bit of, and then it's got my side profile picture. So there you go. So no town folk had to leave. Yeah, right. So it's kind of
right. Oh, is that what it was?
I didn't know that. Yeah, I thought it had to do with like issues or safety or something up there, but I didn't know. Yes, I appreciate that, Dee.
Every day. Yes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind researching that. But yes, Drew Adventures featured on my Partners in Crime thing on my page if you want to go to that. Otherwise, check out one of the links. Don't forget to also subscribe to Werner's Adventures. That would be a thing too. He's stuck on 486, something like that. So go do both of them if you haven't already.
Yeah.
And, thank you very much, Drew. I really appreciate it.
No, you're welcome, Heather. Thank you. Yeah.
The last few minutes before we go, feel free to connect to each other. If people have a blue wrench and can see people in the chat who are grey, can you please feel free to drop their links now-ish or as soon as possible?
Cool.
So gold mining, urban exploring,
history,
adventures, holidays, the pool.
That's right, the pool. That's right. We'll have to leave that story, won't we, Heather? But everyone will see that story when we put up our videos.
Story of the pool. shortly.
Yeah,
Not
that was.
what you're thinking of. Not the
Oh, right. Yeah.
the other one.
Yep. Fair point. Yes.
Absolutely. Anyway, no worries. Thank you everyone for tuning in.
Yeah.
I'll see you all next week. Thank you, Drew. Shall see you shortly.
Thank you. Yes. Will do.
Safe, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will
Yeah.
see you next side.
Take care. All right. Ciao for now, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.